The world had been reduced to a wasteland, a desolate place where the strong preyed on the weak, and the weak struggled to survive. In this world, magic and technology were the only things that could make a difference. The tyrannical government believed that force was the answer, but the rebels knew better. They knew that their only hope was to fight back with everything they had. The rebels rode on mechanical horses, the only mode of transportation that could take them through the treacherous terrain. They wore gas masks and leather armor to protect themselves from the toxic air and the dangers that lurked in the shadows. Their weapons were a combination of magic and technology, a deadly mix that the government could not match. The government had been hunting the rebels for months, but they had always managed to stay one step ahead. They had hidden in the shadows, struck from the darkness, and disappeared before the government even knew what had happened. But the government had finally caught up with them, and the rebels knew that this would be their last stand. The rebels had gathered in an abandoned factory on the outskirts of the city. They knew that they were outnumbered and outgunned, but they refused to give up. They had a plan, a desperate plan, but it was the only chance they had. As the government forces closed in, the rebels prepared for battle. They had set up traps and barricades, and they were ready to fight to the death. The government forces charged forward, their weapons blazing, but the rebels stood their ground. The battle raged on for hours, neither side gaining the upper hand. The rebels were running low on ammunition, and their magic was fading, but they refused to give up. They fought with everything they had, determined to make a difference. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, the rebels unleashed their secret weapon. They had been working on it for months, and it was finally ready. The weapon was a combination of magic and technology, a powerful force that could change the course of the war. The rebels activated the weapon, and a blinding light filled the room. The government forces were caught off guard, and the rebels seized the opportunity. They charged forward, their weapons blazing, and the government forces fell back. The rebels had won, but at a great cost. Many of their comrades had fallen, and the factory was in ruins. But they had shown the government that they were not to be underestimated. They had fought with everything they had, and they had emerged victorious. As the rebels gathered their wounded and counted their dead, they knew that the war was far from over. But they also knew that they had taken a step forward. They had shown the world that even in the darkest of times, hope could still prevail.